Hello and welcome to the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Johnstone, and I have an incredible offer for you today. What we've done is we've taken the 10 most profitable methods to grow your mortgage business that we have learned from interviewing the producers on this podcast, many of whom are doing over $100 million in volume per year. And we've packaged them together into a condensed 45-minute training where you get to learn the 10 most successful and profitable activities that you should be running in your mortgage business. Then we show you how to automate those processes with people and systems so that they run and continue to produce loan applications and new partners that want to send you business pre-booked into your calendar without you having to do any cold calls or chasing or really any work. It's a blueprint for you to be able to produce more in your business while actually working less. And you can go get that training today for free at chriswebinar.com. That's chriswebinar.com. So make sure you head over there today, grab that training for free, and make sure that you watch it, because the sooner you get started on implementing these strategies, the sooner you can see results and continue to grow your mortgage business. Thank you again for being here with us for this episode, and enjoy another one on the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast. We are blessed today with Ginger Bell. Ginger, how you doing?
I am great. How are you? It's so good to see you. You know, Chris, I feel like I know you so well, but yet we've never physically met.
But will someday soon, and I feel the same way about you. I feel like our relationship has been so cool, and yet here we are virtually again.
Yeah, and we have an opportunity because I know we work on a lot of projects together, you doing what you do so well, and us kind of incorporating a lot of the educational and video factors of it. So I kind of feel like we're like peanut butter and jelly.
That's awesome. And for all of our listeners, that if you don't know who Ginger is, you're in for a treat today. So Ginger is an absolute genius when it comes to video and video marketing, but so much more than that, because in video there is branding and there is relationship and there is the growth of your business and how you approach it. So I'm really looking forward to today's conversation. But Ginger, simply because I wouldn't do it justice, would you give us just a brief overview? For those of you that are watching on YouTube, you can see racks and stacks of awards behind Ginger. And I'd love if you could just give our audience just a brief intro.
Sure. So I've been in the mortgage industry for a very long time. And before I was in the industry, I was a corporate trainer with Dale Carnegie Training. So I've always been an educator. And I always say I got started in the mortgage industry when my son was in first grade, and last year he graduated with his MBA.
Wow.
And so I just fell in love with the industry and saw so many needs to develop education and training. And that's really what I've done for the last 20 plus years. I've developed training on every mortgage program, every regulation that we saw from 2008, I've done training on. And during COVID, things changed, as you know. It's like our world went from having the ability to have the face-to-face to figuring out how do we connect and do that online. And so I first started doing that. Arch MI was a client of mine, and they called and said, we have our entire national sales team that's grounded, cannot go out and call anyone. And some of them were starting to post things on social media, and it's like the Wild West out there. Nobody's really doing anything with any, similarities. And so they asked me to come in, and I did a 6-week coaching program for their national sales team. And then from that, then started doing webinars on how to do webinars and how to do video. And I've always used video in my training and education because it is so impactful. People will retain 95% of what they watch on video as opposed to 10% of what they read. And so because I've always developed training around some pretty boring mortgage regulations, nobody loves them.
No, a mortgage regulation boring? What?
Okay. I know attorneys, they love it, but most of us, it's like, so, those kind of things to make it more engaging, I'd always use video for that. And so honestly, I had some friends in the industry who had reached out and said, Jinder, you've been telling us to do video forever. We don't know where to start. And I think, Chris, that's a lot of people. It's not that they don't want to do, video education, social media, whatever it is. I think it's not knowing where to start.
And
And
that,
that's the
that
first step.
and it's so intimidating. So
Yeah.
what do you tell people?
Yeah. So what do you tell people? What do you say? And it's funny because we think that, because honestly, if I called any originator that's watching this right now and I would ask you, how much money do I need for a down payment? You would not hesitate in the least
Yeah.
to know what to tell me. But as soon as that camera goes on, all of a sudden it's like, which, it's funny because when I worked at Dale Carnegie Training, and Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends, Influence People, we taught the Dale Carnegie course, which got people over their fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
And so it's like we've transferred that now from that. Do you have the book? Oh, I love that. Yay. Absolutely brilliant. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, it's such a great book. And if you haven't read that book, I would get it. How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's actually the #2 best-selling book in the world, right behind the Bible. So that tells you how impactful it is. I don't know how many languages it's written in. I wish I would have met him. What a phenomenal, everything he did to lay the foundation as far as learning and training and helping people to overcome their fears. So I'd really recommend that book. And if you have teenagers, it's a required reading requirement. And in my house, it always was. But so anyway, I think that's transferred though from that #1 fear of public speaking, which I think people still have that, but that transferred into doing videos, where it's that fear of doing videos. Not that, you're very knowledgeable. You think about all the information you have in there. And so that's where it started. I just had some friends that say, can you help us? And I'm like you, Chris, it's like, let's unpack this problem. And so we put a very small beta group together and we started unpacking the problem. It's like, what do you need? Because I can't solve a problem if I don't know what the need is. And that's how I always go into it. It's how I develop my training. And so what we found out was needed help with content, what to say. So we developed scripts. So we have our Edge Marketing Toolbox and they get monthly scripts. We get 4 video scripts a month, which has been, for me as an educator, so rewarding to watch, because there's people like, Parker, right?
Yeah.
Who started out last October, and his division manager, Wendell, who's also dad, got him going on our scripts right away. And so he would load the script onto the teleprompter on his phone. Honestly, he's just recording on his phone. And he was able to record videos using the scripts, having just get licensed. So, that's part of it too. And so that's the one thing. And then the other thing is, even for those who can record the video, what do you do with it after you record it? And so we developed our virtual video producer program, where all they have to do is upload the video and then we edit it, produce it, do their thumbnail. We put all of I'm big compliance person. So it's like, put all their compliance stuff in there and then post it onto their YouTube channel and their social media. So that's kind of what we found. And I think that's a lot of it, Chris, just like in the systems that you build, right? It's like, they need to be out meeting people. They need to be using their system where they are the mayor of their town. And if you're the mayor of your town, you're not worried about, what is the water turned on, and, or is the police force doing what they need to do? You may have occasional meetings with them, but you need to focus on what you do best. And that's being the mayor of your town. And so it's been a great journey getting into videos. We have been doing the video production now for the past 2.5 years. and have seen great results. And I love when we put our peanut butter and jam to where it's like, okay, we got the video. Now let's talk about just like, how can you boost it on social media, which you do such a great job of doing that. It's like, how can we put this in? What can you do as far as leveraging it within your CRMs? So, it's one thing to do the video. And sometimes I think people, if they do the video, it's like, okay, check that box. Don't just check that box. What can you do to leverage it? So let's take it one step further.
Oh, that's so true because just having a video and posting it one time on social media, there's a blip that happens there, but the videos are an asset that you can reuse over and over and over again. And one of the things that I've seen loan officers do really well and many of them are using your content, but they're being strategic about it. And they're saying, okay, well, if I had first-time home buyers, what would be the main questions that a first-time home buyer would be? And then they'll use your scripts and your content and have you edit the videos. But by the time they've got 8 or 9 of those questions answered and they've got those videos, you can package that together and offer it out on a lead generation page with, hey, get my 9-step course on how to buy a home or how to get a VA loan or all of these wonderful things. So don't think about your content and just like, how do I do that one little thing? But think of it from an overarching perspective. So Ginger, with that in mind and with content in mind, and listeners here maybe not being into video marketing yet, what are some of the greatest videos that you've seen that you've really thought were just fantastic?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of different types of videos that you can say are fantastic. One of my favorite videos, a couple of them, I like things that are kind of outside the box. We can get into the format as far as, how much you need for a down payment and what is FHA and what is VA and the 3 steps to a mortgage loan. But I love building in the branding that goes into them and who they are, because that's really when they start seeing the most value out of what they're doing, because that's when the connection is made with people because they get who they are. And so we have a client who just hired a brand new LO, and they just moved to Knoxville and they're brand new in the business. So double whammy. And they're starting right now. So it's like triple whammy.
Wow.
It's like, okay, we've got to really brand you.
Yep.
Because it's not just enough to get out there and say, let's do a mortgage video. People need to know you. They need to fall in love with you. They need to can make that connection with you. And so what we did for Mike is because he was new to Knoxville, so building around that, just relocating to Knoxville, which he did from Connecticut. So let's start building some videos around that, because people that are looking to move, and there are a lot of people that are looking to relocate these days.
Yep.
Find a place that's more affordable, find a place that's more aligned as far as them. People can work remotely, which they didn't have that ability so much before. So people are going and searching for this information, and they want to see that information. And so we branded him with what we're calling Knoxville Bites. And so he's doing some of his videos, not all of his videos, are focused on places to eat in Knoxville.
Nice.
And so he's opening it up, just saying, hey, are you looking at relocating to Knoxville? Here are some great places that we just found because we just relocated here. By the way, and then he closes his video out. That's the key, is always make sure you have a good call to action in the closing part of your video. Tell people what to do. And so he does that. And he says, if you or anybody you know is looking to buy, sell, or refinance, needs help in getting a mortgage, then please reach out to me. And so he's, setting that hook. And so he's done 3 different ones now. And now he's getting into some other things just besides the food, and getting into some shops and things like that. But it's been interesting because the first video that he posted, and we put it onto YouTube, I think he got 3 realtors that connected with him on it. And I don't know how many, he quickly got 100 views on it, very quickly. And it's funny because we had him on, we do a mortgage video mastermind call once a week. on our Facebook group, and we had him on to talk about, what he was doing with Knoxville Bites. And, he says, well, I only had 100 views. I was a little disappointed. That was like in the first week. And Scott Shang had said, and he's on the call with me, he said, that was 100 people you had a conversation with that you would not have had otherwise. And people forget that. Even if you're having 5 views, 10 views, that's that many more than you're getting without that video. And so that's a fun one. I really like how we've been branding him and branding what he's doing there. And that's a lot of it too. It's like, think about the long term of branding you and how you can do that with your video. We just had a client who just switched companies and said, okay, here's my new information. I need to change everything. And so, our team hopped onto his YouTube channel when we were on the call with him. And it's like, Brad, you're set. We don't have to change other than your licensing because we've branded you.
Yes.
He had licensing on his ends, which we'll change those, but his channel's branded to him. It's like everything we've done in his thumbnails is branded to him. And so it's like, you're fine. We don't need to change anything. And that's the key. You want to brand it to you, and people forget about that.
Oh, 100%. And I think, you really hit it on the fact that people need to know who you are. And the only way to do that is to be genuine and be yourself, because anything else just doesn't come across, especially with video. It's just not congruent.
Right.
So that's a really great tip. Now, one of the questions that I see you get asked all the time is, Ginger, how long should my videos be? Do you think the timing of the video actually matters?
I think the content is more important than the timing. But it's an interesting question, Chris, and it's very much an open-ended question. And that's why it's about content, because it's like, how long will they watch it? Kyle Seagraves, who has probably one of the largest followings, I think he's got 128,000 subscribers. And he started doing his YouTube channel right when he started. Kyle is an originator in Dayton, Ohio. His father, Mike, owns a Remax. And when Remax opened their Motto Mortgage franchise, a lot of Remax franchisees bought the Motto Mortgage franchise. And so Remax hired me to come in and to train all of their Motto Mortgage franchisees. And so Kyle was in my class, and I said, you need to start a YouTube channel. Your generation is all about. And he's like, what should I make my, YouTube videos about? And I said, read through the guides and develop develop the training, answer their questions. And so he started doing that. It took him a year to get to 100 subscribers. But he did a video every week. And it was very much geared towards, here's the information that you need. His most watched video has over 1 million views, and it's 33 minutes long.
Wow.
And it talks about FHA.
No way.
So, that's that. And then we've got other clients who are killing it on TikTok with very short videos, 28,000 subscribers, funding loans from it. So I think it needs to be a combination. I think people need to really think about long form and short form content. Your long form content is your library you're building on YouTube. Everyone should have a YouTube channel because it's the number 2 search engine in the world. Even if you don't get to 128,000 subscribers, it's a library of your content.
That's right.
And if nothing else, you can use it. So say, for example, you have a call with a potential borrower who has some collections. And so you had a video that you did about, what you need to know about, collections and getting a loan. You can end that call and say, you know what, I recorded a video on collections. Let me send it to you. When you have all of your videos on YouTube, you now have a library.
Yeah.
We actually keep a spreadsheet of all of our clients' videos as well in case they get examined. But you can go and you can get that link and then send it to them. If you're just doing a video and posting it on social, good luck going and finding that video.
That's right.
And the same thing, if you're going to keep it somewhere on your computer, I mean, I can honestly be anywhere and somebody needs a video. It's like I had someone do a video. They were very nice and recorded a video about our client box that I had sent them. And it was cute because when she recorded it, her letters were transcribed and so it was backwards.
Yes.
And that's like a pet peeve of mine. So I honestly have a video that I recorded on how to go into your phone and change the settings so that it will put the letters when you're recording in a selfie mode so that they're not reversed. And so, I sent a message to her, said, hey, thanks for recording this video. Absolutely love this. In the future, if you'd like to know how to do this, here's a video that I recorded that shows you how to do it. And I sent her that link and she's like, oh my gosh, I have been trying to figure that out forever, how to do that. So that's why everyone needs a YouTube channel, because it gives you, no matter where I'm at, I can go find one of my videos because it's in my YouTube library.
Yeah.
You don't have to publish them all. They can be unlisted, which means that they're not going to be open to the public, but they're still showing in your library. So YouTube is a great place. And yes, you can get leads from it. Yes, you can build up followings from it. But more than anything, it's a library of your content. And so that's why we like it a lot.
That is amazing and super valuable. And I see so much content going on social media, and you'll go and check out the YouTube channels. It's like there's nothing there. It's platform specific. So having YouTube at the cornerstone is super helpful. Yeah. Ginger, thank you for being so generous.
Thank you.
With your time today. I do have one other question for you, just as we wrap up. So one of the strategies that I've seen working really well is we've got clients that are doing these like mini webinars basically and they're promoting them as webinars, but shorter than an hour. It's like a little 30-minute presentation that they do with the realtor. And so I'm wondering if you've got any tips for our listeners on how they can take video marketing into their referral marketing. How do you engage real estate agents? How do you engage financial planners, investment advisors, and use video for that?
Great question. And I think there's a ton of different ways, specifically on the webinars. And so, we have a lot of clients that are doing that. We actually provide content of PowerPoint presentations for like buying in today's market, selling in today's market, first-time home buyer. So we actually have it's a presentation in a box. So they get the invitation, they get the handout, they get the PowerPoint. And so the idea is you have an event, right? And so the video and the marketing opportunity comes in that you record a short video before, it's like for this, if we were doing this as a webinar, not a podcast, then I'd say, hey, Chris, let's hop onto a quick little video and talk about what we're going to talk about on our webinar. And so it just gives another opportunity of a touch. You also have an opportunity in a follow-up. So we can say, oh my gosh, Chris and I were just on the most awesome webinar together. The recording is listed below. Please make sure and watch it. And so that's the other opportunity that you have there. And then you can take it. We do this for a lot of clients where we'll clip out. So you have the longer, say maybe you have a 30-minute. We just actually have another client who sent us a 54-minute, and the whole intro was them figuring out how to do webinar. And then once they figured it out, so it's like those first things, and we can edit all that out and make it look good for them. But then we clipped out, okay, what are these things that you can clip out of there, these nice little nuggets, and then use those. We like to keep them in a platform so they can go back and use them, because just because you've used it once doesn't mean you can't use it again.
Yep.
So lots of things you can do. There's so many ways that you can leverage video in everything that you're doing. It's just, and honestly, it's as simple as on your phone. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Absolutely. And I find just making a habit of it
Yes.
is certainly
Have it.
important as well.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, Ginger, thank you again for being on the show. Now, how do people find out more about your courses, your training, you? What's the best way for people to connect with you?
So the best way to connect with us is on our website, which is edumarketing.com. So that's edumarketing.com, education and marketing. Or if you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me on meetgingerbell.com. That has all of my link tree. So it connects to all of my social, to our YouTube. And there's a calendar link in there as well to my calendar. So if you want to schedule a strategy call, you can do that.
That is amazing. And everything will be in the show notes for you as well, folks. So, again, Ginger, thank you for being so generous with your time and thank you for being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I loved it.
Hey, it's Chris. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed our guest today on the podcast. This is a reminder that we have just finished taking the greatest lessons from all of our guests and packaging them together into a brief online video presentation that's going to teach you the 10 most profitable ways to grow your mortgage business. And then we show you how to automate those processes in your business with people and systems so that you get the results without you having to do the work every day. This is quite literally a blueprint so that you walk into your mortgage business every day with pre-booked appointments with borrowers that want to meet with you and referral partners that want to send you business so that you are spending your time inside your mortgage business on the highest dollar per hour activities, and you truly become the executive of your business, a true business owner, rather than just somebody who's going to a job every day and making a wage on the way through. This is an absolutely incredibly powerful training for you, and I cannot wait for you to experience it. So head on over to chriswebinar.com. That's chriswebinar.com to get that free training today. Now, if you could do me another favor, if you enjoyed this episode, please head on over to iTunes, search the Loan Officer Wealth Podcast, and give us a 5-star rating and review, really on any podcast platform that you're watching this on. That just 30 seconds of your time goes to help another loan officer in the industry discover this information and really help put their life and their business on track for more success. We are all in this together, and there is more than enough for all of us in the industry. So I would love if you left us that 5-star rating and review. Don't forget to stay tuned for our next episode, and I'll see you then.